patience, I told them wait, answer the call. Born for this since I was chosen to ball. The young and they always wanted to see fall. Do it, I'm moving, just pat me the ball. Living unfiltered, my life is too raw. Passing the bar like I'm studying law. They'll know my name by the time that I'm gone. See, I work for this, they knew I had dedication. Manifest prayer and daily meditation. It took me time, I had no problem waiting. I was just sitting there, don't let it take. I had to take a basic fundamental, only when I made it. I don't really gotta say it. When I told them I was pacing, all my life I had to do it. It don't mean no delegation. I remember all the days when I was hungry, when I'm facing the rise of a champion, chasing the glory. I hear the chants in the crowd, they adore me. I feel the beast inside of me dormant, about to unleash in all of its forces. Putting in the time, then I wait for the moment. They cannot question my heart of devotion. I'm a ticking time bomb, ready for explosion. But silent making moves, and my plan up in the motion. Witness the rise. I go to battle with them, and my skill is something that cannot be denied. Rise. They want me dead or in prison. See, I got the will in me, I will survive. Rise. Want us to give up and fold. I cannot.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? How is everyone doing tonight? It is your boy Niners Sickness with the Let's Talk Niners. We're going to talk about the rookies tonight. All the rookies that were drafted by the San Francisco 49ers. We're going to have a nice conversation, get to know them a little bit better. I want to get your guys' thoughts on the rookies. We're going to have fun on Thursday night right after this.
Welcome to Let's Talk Niners podcast, hosted by Niners Sickness. Don't forget to subscribe.
They don't hand it to you. You have to dig for it.
It's on my right! If that ain't right, it's on my right now!
Those before us knew their pursuit had to be relentless. Belief was met with gold, or fell apart into dust. We've been sifting through the chaos, through the dirt, through the noise, through the West. When the chaos closes in, the moment opens up. Every challenge faced, a new opportunity presented.
And the 49ers storm the field.
And when your number's called, you answer.
Right on the money.
Not with words, with force. One play changes the field. One moment flips the night. Our work isn't finished. It's time to strike.
Inside the 20, the 10, he's gone! It's over! And the Niners have won!
Welcome to the Ultimate Red and Gold Show. We are breaking down everything faithful. Get ready for some pure Niners sickness.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. I am your host, Niners Sickness, here on my channel, Let's Talk Niners. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Welcome. Give me 1 second. From the right, left, right. Okay. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. It says, hey, Beto, wishing you the best. Right at you, Niners Eddie. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. What's up, Daniel Boris Sports? How you doing, sir? So what's up? All happy Thursday. What's up, brother? Good to see you. We got my brother from a different mother, Forever Faithful Podcast 49. What's up, Brandon? Welcome to the show. And we got my girl Easy in the house. What's up, Easy? Bro, you are a rock star. Love you, better. Love you right back, Easy. Thank you for being such a good sister. Little sister, appreciate you very, very much. Much love from my family to yours. Crazy Juice is in the house. He says, what's up, Beto? What's up, brother? Welcome. So, we're going to talk 49er football tonight. We're going to talk about, we already know who the Niners drafted. That's not a reveal, right? We know the schedule. We know who we're playing, when we're playing. OTAs is about to start. A lot of things are happening, and they're happening fast. Where has the year gone? That's what I want to know. Where has the year gone? It's like football season ends, and before you know it, like a blink in the eye or like fart in the air, the new season is here. OTAs is about to start. I'm excited. Listen, guys, whether you agree or disagree on the draft picks, whether you feel the Niners reached for a player or didn't reach, whatever your opinion is, it is valid. It is valid to you as a fan. It is valid. But at this point, these players have been signed. They are part of the Red and Gold family. They are part of the Niners, whether they were a reach or not. At this point, it's irrelevant, right? It doesn't matter if the Niners reached out for Stribling. Did the Niners reach out for Black? It doesn't matter anymore. They are Niners. What matters is, can these guys be productive? Can they come in, be productive year one? Can they move the needle? Can they help our San Francisco 49ers to get better in 2026 and going forward? You know, we can have conversations or arguments or disputes about whether they were reaches or not. Like I said, at this point, they are on the roster. They are part of the family. And what is the Niners going to do with them? How productive are they going to be year one, year two, and year three going forward? And then we're going to talk about past draft picks. A lot of Niner fans are not happy with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan's picks. They feel that the Niners have not drafted well. We're going to discuss that as well a little bit later in the show. We're going to talk about a few things, but I want to get your guys' opinion on the draft picks. Says, what's good, Crazy Jews? Happy Memorial Day weekend. I forgot it's going to be Memorial Day weekend. My goodness, time does fly, doesn't it? Time does fly. My goodness. Let's see here. Time does fly. I hope you guys don't mind, but the wife bought me a Starbucks. So I'm going to enjoy me a little bit of Starbucks as we carry this conversation tonight. Let me know in the chat real quick. I should have asked this from the beginning. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Just tell me in the chat. I hear you fine, Niner Sickness. Just let me know in the chat. Am I coming out nice and clear? Can you hear me? Am I muffled? Mic check, mic check.
Let me know if you can hear me. Don't be shy. Come on down.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy. So our first pick, as you guys already know, we moved 2 spots. We moved out of the 27th spot, which was our original spot. Then we moved back down to the 30th. And then from the 30th, we moved completely out of the first round into the beginning of the second round. And we wind up with pick 33. Niners, thank you. 49er Eddie, much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. So you guys, we moved 2 spots down. We wind up in first spot and second round. The Niners had all day to figure out which direction they were going to go. They talked to multiple teams. I assumed that there were trade offers. Maybe some of them were traded all the way down where the Niners felt that was too far down. I know the Niners tried to trade out of 33. but maybe there wasn't a suitable trade where the Niners were comfortable at, feeling that they were going to miss out on a player, especially since a lot of players already went ahead of the Niners pick. I think that if Malachi Lawrence was there at 27, I think the Niners would have jumped and taken him, but he went to the Cowboys much earlier. Me personally, I think he's the only player in the first round that I think the Niners covet at that position, that maybe they felt would fall that down to them. And when that wasn't the case, they moved on to the second round. So let's talk about our second round pick. Receiver, Deshaun Stribling. Deshaun Stribling out of Ole Miss. This kid, a lot of people have been talking negative about. They feel that the Niners reached too much for him, that the Niners should have waited to maybe their second pick in the second round, which was at 58, that the Niners went ahead and took him too early. At the end of the day, listen, all draft picks are crapshoots. They're crapshoots. You don't know what you're getting. You can get good players at a premium, or you can get bad players at a premium. You can reach for good players, and you can reach for bad players. You just don't know what type of player you're going to wind up with until he comes to the Niners, until he goes through OTAs, until he goes through mini camp, preseason, and then a whole season with the San Francisco 49ers. Then we will have an idea, more or less, which direction this player is heading. Is he heading in a positive direction, or is he going to take a while to be worked with? So when we take a player, it's a 50-50 crapshoot. The Niners went ahead and took in a receiver. I've looked at the film. I looked at his game. I know he wasn't called to do much at Ole Miss, but this guy has really good hands. He's a big body receiver. He can be used as a true X. Now, I think in year one, because we signed Mike Evans, which, by the way, if you're going to have a pro receiver, a veteran receiver, they can work with a young kid like Stribling, Mike Evans is the guy. Because last year, who did we have? Brandon Ayuk, even though he was good on the field, but we know he was going through his issues in his head. How good of a leader would Ayuk been to a rookie receiver? The fact that we have All-Pro, a sure Hall of Famer, and Mike Evans to be able to teach this kid the ropes on what to do and what not to do. I think that it's going to benefit Deshaun Stribling a lot. It's going to benefit him a lot because he's going to be able to learn from one of the best in Mike Evans. Roberto Hasney, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the channel. How you doing, sir? How you doing? How you doing? I hope all is well with you, my friend. I like Stribling. A bit of a reach, I think. He may be the best rookie. If he turns out to be the best rookie, the question is, was he a reach? At the end of the day, listen, if you take a player at its appropriate spot, or where the people think the consensus, like the kid that went in at the bottom of the first round, that the Niners wanted, the receiver from Indiana. Can't think of his name. The Niners wanted him, Niner fans wanted him to be drafted to the Niners because he was and did a lot of great things in Indiana, but he wasn't really a fit for what the Niners was trying to do in this offense. So it's not about just getting a player because we like their performance in college. Do they fit with what Kyle is trying to do in this offense? And I can't think of his name. I know you guys will put it in the comments. The kid from Indiana who the Niners patched up, and I think he went to the Jets. He went to the Jets, and the Niners got the Jets picked in the second round. Me personally, I think this kid is better, and he's better for what the Niners are trying to do. Remember, we brought in Mike Evans for that goal ball, that 50-50 in the red zone to make the red zone easier for Brock Purdy. If you have a kid like Deshaun Stribling learning, big body, big frame, good hands, once Mike Evans retires and moves on, now you have a kid in the wings that has learned from a great big receiver, and hopefully he can take over the reins and we can win games with him. Mr. Vega in the house. How you doing, sir? Welcome to the Let's Talk Niners. I am your host, Niner Sickness. Welcome, Bang Bang Niner for life. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. What do you think about Junior Bird? We'll talk about him a little bit later. He wasn't really on my radar. He's more, to me personally, he's more of a special teams kind of guy, type of guy. Kenny's announced. What's up, Kenny? Welcome to the channel. Good to see you, my friend. Now, a lot of us have had our preferences. Kenny, for example, says, I really would have liked to have Denzel Boston, a wide receiver that 90% of the people thought was a top 5 wide receiver. But see, this is what the question. This is an honest question. Honest question. Is Denzel Boston better than Deshaun Stribling? Based on the consensus, yes, right? Based on the consensus, Boston was better player, but Boston was taken much later. Now, in a year or two, we will find out who the better receiver is. Now, let me ask you something. And this is me being honest. Honest. Let's say that Denzel Boston turns out to be a great receiver. I don't know about a Hall of Fame, but a great receiver. And Deshaun Stribling turns out to be a great receiver as well. He's not that far. He's very, very close. His career in 3 years will be as close as possible to Denzel Boston, excuse me. Almost at the actor. Right? So let's say Stribling is as good, if not maybe a hair less than Boston. Will any 49er be upset that the Niners took Stribling instead of Boston? I don't think so. They're like, you know what? Stribling was a good receiver. He's a great receiver. Man, we won games because of him. Great Niner. But Boston would have been better. You know what I'm saying? Now, if Boston turns out to be great and Stribling turns out to be trash, then you have an argument. All right. The consensus, those people that were talking highly about Boston, they knew what they were talking about. But we don't know that until later. in the years after they play. But if the Niners pick were hitting, then it would be it'll be one thing. But these players are rarely getting signed to a second contract, and that's the problem. Now, I'm glad you're here, Kenny, because we're going to talk about past picks. I'm going to mention the picks the Niners have been taking since 2017. That's the year that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan started drafting. Now, probably not going to agree with me much, and it's okay, respectfully, it's okay. But I believe that if you get a player or two out of that draft, even if you miss on the rest, you still salvage that draft. To me, a bad draft is if nobody came out of it. If nobody comes out of a draft, or you have a guy in the draft that is kind of way down there, he's okay, he's just special teams, he's a second string player, then that's a bad draft. But if you get a player or two that are very helpful to your team, even if you missed out on the other 6 players, but you got out of 8 players, you got 2 out of the 8, and these players were really good at what they did, that's a good draft in my opinion. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with that statement. My birds are quiet, which is good. I don't know how they got out of the cage. I swear, I just washed my George Kittle jersey, put it on for the first time since I washed it, and I'm not lying. My bird must be a Raider fan. I don't know how, Houdini, I don't know how he got out of the cage, but he flew on my shoulder and pooped. That's all he did. Fly on my shoulder and pooped, a big one on my back. Now I got to wash it again. Now I'm like, are you kidding me? He's either a Raider fan or a Cowboy fan. Boston was the very next wide receiver taken after Steph City. Steph City. I don't know what that means. What does Steph City mean? Steph Curry? When everyone agrees, it makes for very boring conversation. You know what? I agree on that. I completely agree. Correctamundo. Completely agree with that, my friend. So let's talk about our first pick, shall we? Let's talk about our first pick. Stribling played 4 seasons at the collegiate level, Washington State, Oklahoma State, and Ole Miss, and was a key contributor on some college football most productive offense. He earned 2021 All Pac-12 honorable mention. Honors was named to the Biletnikoff Award preseason watch list. He led the Pac-12 freshmen in catches, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. Over his career, he totaled 261 receptions, 2,964 receiving yards, and 23 touchdowns. Booyah! That was his resume in college. What? Now, that means nothing if he can't reproduce that in the NFL, right? If he comes to the NFL, doesn't do well, all that means nothing. Whether you did really good in college or you did okay in college. How many players come and sign their undrafted signees by teams that would end up going to the Hall of Fame. I mean, Tom Brady was drafted in the 6th round. Everybody and their mamas passed him up. Even the Patriots. The Patriots passed him up 5 times before they took him in the 6th round. Why did he go in the 6th round? Because of measurables. He was too skinny. He was this. The consensus felt that he wasn't good enough to go up higher. If somebody would have taken Tom Brady in the 2nd round, would he have been a reach? Come on now. Come on, somebody. If Tom Brady was drafted by the New England Patriots in the 2nd round, would he have been a reach? Back then, yes. Today, no. 7 Super Bowls, arguably one of the best to ever play football, quarterback, Tom Brady. If he would have been taken by the Patriots in the 2nd or 1st round, he would not been a reach today. Back then, yes. That's why you can't always listen to the consensus. You can't always listen to the experts. A lot of times they're right, and a lot of times they're wrong. Joe Montana went in the 3rd round. Jerry Rice went, they took 2 receivers before Jerry Rice. Let that. Why? Because he went to a small school. He went to Mississippi State. And the consensus, these other 2 receivers, which I can't think of their names right now, they played in big schools, so the consensus said they were better. One of them was okay, the other one was a bust, but none of them ever measured up to one Jerry Rice. Tito Fernandez is in the house. How you doing, Tito? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. So, like I said, Tom Brady would have been a reach, but he wasn't. I would have known when Tom Brady was supposed to be taken, according to the consensus, to tell if he was a reach. He went in the 6th round. I mean, you didn't have to be there. You didn't have to watch that draft. If he went in the 6th round because of whatever reason, and all the teams passed up on him. And if somebody would have taken him in the 1st round, if the Niners would have taken him in the 3rd, 2nd round, Niner fans would have went ballistic. What? What are the Niners thinking? Taking Tom Brady in the 2nd round? Are they stupid? And then after another 7 or 6 Super Bowls, oh, that was a good pick, guys. Hey, can we keep it 100? Can we keep it 100? Come on, guys. Brady was not a reach at the 6th. No, not at the 6th round, Eddie. That's my point. He wasn't a reach at the 6th round. I'm saying if the Niners would have taken him in the 2nd round, or any other team, or even the Patriots, if the Patriots would have taken him in the 2nd round, at the 2nd round mark, he would have been considered a reach. But he won 7 Super Bowls. And he's a hell of a quarterback. So my question to you, would he have really been a reach in the 2nd round? Excuse me. Today, no. Back then, yes. I'm saying all that to say this. Deshaun Sterling is a reach today. In 3 years, he might not be a reach. But then again, in 3 years, he may. Only time will tell. And calling for reaches are valid. Saying somebody was you reach for somebody, it's valid, but I don't think it's valid the year of the draft. Does that make sense? Like if you say this player was drafted too early, that's a valid statement. I just don't think it's valid on the year the player was taken. You got to wait at least 2 to 3 years to be able to say, see, he was a reach, or no, he wasn't. But to say that year one, before he even touches the field, it is not a fair assessment, in my opinion. Okay, so if Tom Brady would have been a reach and he gave you the same outcome he gave the Patriots, will you care if he was a reach? Will you be like, you know what? I love the 6 Super Bowls that the Niners won with Brady, but I'm not going to take those Super Bowls because he was a reach. Would we care? Let's be honest. Would we care? No. At least I wouldn't. So you listening to the consensus or saying somebody's been a reach, that is valid. That is fair. I just don't think it's fair year one. And particularly when a player hasn't even touched the field yet. It's my thought. It's like, is he a reach? Year one, we don't know. We got to wait until 27, 28 to kind of get an idea to know whether he was a reach or wasn't he. Ricky Purcell, same thing, was dribbling, but meaning he was a reach, but which only has to do with drafting. It has nothing to do. See, that'll never make sense to me, Kenny. It really doesn't. Maybe I'm stupid, and that's okay if that's what you're, not you, but anybody. That's fine. I don't get that statement. Only in drafting, not playing in the NFL. If they're a good player in the NFL, who cares where they were taken? Who cares? Are they good at football or are they not? Can they help your team win? Or are they just taking space on the roster? Not necessarily a good player gets picked on the first or second round. Correct. But Tom Brady is a hell of a player, but he was not taken into the 6th round, which a lot of people passed up on. So whoever was doing the consensus didn't really watch film on Tom. They went upon his structure, his body. No, I hear you. When I say I don't understand, I mean like I don't understand what you're trying to tell me. I understand what you're telling me. I just don't understand why people feel this way. Is what I'm saying. Why do people feel that something's a reach or not if they turn out to be a great player for your team? To me, if Stribling becomes a hell of a receiver, I'm talking about a top dog in the NFL, an A.J. Brown type of receiver, do we really care 3 years from today whether he was a reach or not? Or are we going to be excited that he's a dominant player? So, you know what I mean? So let me ask you guys. We're going to talk about 3 players that were drafted by the Niners, and then we'll go over some draft picks in the past. Because I want you guys to tell me your thoughts on certain players that were taken in 17, 18, 19, 20 in COVID, 21, 22, and 23. And I'm going to share my thought process in those drafts. And I want to see whether we agree or disagree in that opinion. All right. Next player that was taken in the 2026 NFL draft was Romello Height. He was taken in the 3rd round, 70 overall. Spent 6 seasons at the collegiate level, Auburn, USC, Georgia Tech, Texas Tech, and emerged as a destructive presence off the edge and a consistent threat to opposing quarterbacks. He earned first team All Big 12 honors and was named to the Pro Football Focus All Big 12 team during his senior season. Over his career, he totaled 111 tackles, 27 tackles for loss, and 16 and a half sacks, including a breakout 2025 campaign at Texas Tech, where he recorded 10 sacks and 11 and a half tackles for loss. How good can Romello Height be for our San Francisco 49ers? How good? How good can this kid be? Now, what are our true expectations for this kid year one? We got Mikel Williams coming from an injury, but he's 20, he's going to be 21. He's young. The ACL injuries of today are not the same ACL injuries of the 80s and 90s. Players rehab and come back even better. If anybody proved that, AP, Adrian Peterson, definitely did that when he was with Minnesota. We got Mikel Williams, we got CJ West, two big guys, Alfred Collins, that we drafted particularly last year for what? To stop the run. What was the objective of drafting those players last year? Stop the run, because we were getting torched before we drafted them against the run. The Niners did that. People don't realize, and if you do, cool. If you don't, let me explain. Let me tell you, people don't realize that before Mikel Williams went down with injury, teams couldn't run the ball very well on us. He was very effective stopping the run. Now, was he getting sacks? No. Was he pushing the quarterback to the ground? No. But was he setting the edge? Was he setting the edge? Absolutely, yes. Was he helping to stop the run? Yes. Him and big boy Alfred Collins were doing a phenomenal job at stopping the run. They're hoping that Mikel Williams develops into a good pass rusher. But he was brought in to set the edge and stop the run. So was Alfred Collins, who plays nose tackle, in my opinion, in this defense, even though it's not a 3-4. Right? This year, or in 2025, what did we lack in? Now, a lot of it had to do with injuries to Bosa, our premier rush. You know, people don't realize when Bosa's not in the lineup, we are a hot mess. Bosa makes a difference on that line. That's how good he is. But what did we lack in last year? Sacks. The year before, we couldn't stop the run. Last year, we couldn't get to the quarterback. And I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to read your comments. Don't worry, guys. If you guys want to bless me with what do they call it? A super chat. I appreciate it, but if not, I'll get to your comments. So, what did we lack in? We lacked in what? Going after the quarterback. We were the fewest if not the least, in getting sacks. So what did they do? They went and got Romello Height. They got Grayson Holton, that we'll talk about a little bit later. They brought Osa Odigizua in a trade from the Dallas Cowboys, which I loved from the minute set go on him. I watch a lot of Cowboys games, and particularly because I can't stand them, and I was enjoying them losing. But one player that I liked on that defense when they were losing was the play of Osa Odigizua. This is before I ever knew he would be traded to the Niners. Now, Mikael Williams is going to be on the outside. Alfred Collins in the inside. Osa Odigizua is going to be there. They're going to bring Romello Height on third and longs, right? He's going to be your pass rusher, at least year one specialist. He's going to be your pass rusher specialist. If they go with the NASCAR, imagine going with the NASCAR. Romello Height on the outside, Mikael Williams inside, Grayson Holton inside, and Nick Bosa. Imagine rushing those four guys. Or, excuse me, back it up. Back it up. You show a five front in the NASCAR. You got Romello Height. You got Mikael Williams, Osa Odigizua, Grayson Holton, and Nick Bosa coming at you in waves. Who are you going to double? If you're an offensive lineman and then if they're coming in your direction, you're going to shit in your pants trying to defend one of these guys. I'm getting that vibe. Now I have to wait and see it, but I'm getting the 2019 vibe. Do you remember those games when we played against Green Bay? Aaron Rodgers could not breathe back there. How many of you enjoyed watching Aaron Rodgers get his ass kicked by our front four? I don't know about you, but it was fun to watch. Our front four was bullying Aaron Rodgers in that backfield. That was fun to watch. My goodness, was that fun to watch. And I want to see that type of pressure once again. Stribling was an okay pick with the second pick. A fast receiver is premium. Kyle considered him a second overall receiver. Not only Kyle, Eddie, but for what I heard, many GMs in the NFL considered him moving up in the draft board. He was moving up in the draft board. And maybe he wouldn't have went 33 unless to us, but I don't think he would have made it to 58. Now, people have told me, well, if the Niners would have passed up on him and if he would have got taken before 58, we just get somebody else. Yeah, that's true. But if you fall in love with a player, listen, guys, I'm talking to the guys. Eddie, my boy, Kenny looks like a player. If you guys seen Kenny looks like when he was young, the dude can go out with any girl he wanted. The dude, and I'm not gay, okay, but the dude is fine. Respectfully. He looks like he can get any any girl he wanted, right? But imagine Kenny. He sees a girl in college. He falls in love with that girl. She catches his eyes. She's moving a certain way. The hair's blowing a certain way. Everything's in slow motion. And Kenny falls for it hard for this girl and asks her out. What's up, girl? Can I get your digits? And she says, no. Do you think Kenny's going to be like, oh, well, let me look at another girl? Well, she said no. So on to the next girl. No. He felt for that girl. He likes that girl. And he's going to try to get her until he's certain that she does not want to be with him. Then he'll move on. But I guarantee Kenny is not, and I don't know Kenny personally, Kenny is not moving on from the first no. Kenny, tell me in the comments if I'm right or wrong. The Niners fell in love with Stribling. Why are they going to settle for a different player if he gets taken earlier? You can't move down to a spot where you feel comfortable that you can get him, then you take him. Then you take him and call it a day. They try to move back. They try to move back to a certain spot where they can pick up draft picks and still take this player. But I'm pretty sure whatever team wanted to trade with the Niners were probably trading way too back, and the Niners didn't want to take a chance. So they went for the guy they fell in love with, and they call it a day. Yeah, that's a hard one, Eddie. I mean, like, we'll talk about Ricky Purcell. I think he's a phenomenal player. I think he's going to be a great receiver. I think the Niners hit it big time with him. We just haven't seen it completely because he got hurt year one. I don't count the day he got drafted because he got shot. Ricky Purcell, I hear people tell me, hey, Niners sickness. Ricky's okay, but Ricky, he's always hurt. Is he though? Is he really always hurt? I don't think so. Year one, the kid got shot. Okay? He didn't hurt himself in practice. He got shot. He missed most of the year. Came towards the end of the year and played his butt off. He could have taken the whole year off if he wanted. But no, he played and he played well. 2025, last year, was his first year. And yes, he got hurt. Sucks. But he shows glimpses of when he's on the field. I believe the first 5 weeks of last year, before Ricky got hurt, he was the third best receiver in the NFL. He was behind Jigba from Seattle, and I forgot the other receiver. But he was the third best receiver last year. Then he gets hurt. So I think, to be fair, I think this kid in 2026, buckle up, guys. Buckle up. This kid's going to stay healthy, and he's going to show the Niners and Niner fans why the Niners took him with that first-round pick. They did. Okay, I remember we traded C.J. Beathard. Help me out here, Kenny. We traded C.J. Beathard, and we got a pick. And if I'm not mistaken, because of that trade, we were able to draft Fred Warner. Was it the C.J. Beathard? There was a trade that we made that a picks that we were able to get Fred Warner. And we know how that one turned out. My high school girlfriend and I went to the same college. Right on. She was probably your first love. I'm glad you didn't give up on her. Amen to that, Kenny. I'm with you right there. I want to see the players to do well as well. Apparently, getting shot is an it. Okay, let's not get technical here, Juice. It is an injury, but we're talking about your typical football injuries. You don't hear about shootings every year. Oh, this player got shot, so you hear about ACLs, you hear about this or that, broken bones, but you don't hear about shots. So, is it an injury? Technically, yes. Is it an injury? I mean, how often do you get shot? If you get shot more than once or you get shot every year, I mean, you need to change who you're hanging around with. But it's a different type of injury, Juice. I'm not worried about Ricky getting shot every other year. He's never been shot again. So is he shot prone? You know how people say injury prone? Is he getting shot prone? All right, so let's talk a little bit. Before I move on to other draft picks, let's go ahead and talk about some picks. And we'll start off with 2017, shall we? 2017 was the first year. And yes, should the Niners have gotten Patrick Mahomes? Yes. But Deshaun Watson was a two-time champion at Clemson. He was the more prime quarterback coming out that year. Nobody really knew that Mahomes was going to be Mahomes. I don't even think Mahomes knew that. All right, so pick numero uno, which I don't get in this pick. The Niners select Solomon. I cannot tackle the quarterback in my life depended on Thomas. Bad pick. Not only was it bad because he did not work out for the Niners, it was a bad pick because when you have, oh my God, I can't think of names. Hold on. I'll say his name right now. When you have Eric Armstead, when you got Eric Armstead on your team and you draft Solomon Thomas, who plays the same position than Eric Armstead, what are you doing? What are you doing? Now, 2017, and this is my opinion only. You can agree or disagree. It is all up to you. Okay? Oops, hold on, guys. So it's all up to you guys. 2017 was year one for John Lynch, his first time being a general manager, and Kyle Shanahan, first time being a head coach. Right? Their first year. They never been head coach, never been a general manager before. If it sounds like I'm making excuses, I'm not. I'm just keeping it real. Stay with me. First year at their prospective positions, trying to figure things out. Right? Then Shanahan was in the Super Bowl that year with the Falcons, right? So he started late. He had to assemble his team. He had to assemble his coaches. Excuse me. And get it all together before the draft. So I really don't count 2017 because first-time head coach, first-time GM, and he was coming off a Super Bowl. He didn't have a complete offseason to figure things out and to be prepared for that draft. Now, with that said, did we draft Patrick Mahomes? No. Do I wish we would have? Hell yeah. But the reality is, Kyle had a plan. Kyle had a plan. He wanted to bring in Kirk Cousins. Whether you agree with him or not, first-time head coach, he wanted to bring someone he was familiar with. Remember, he gets hired by the 49ers. He wants to keep this job. He doesn't want to be a failure his first time out. So he's going to go with what he knows. Do I agree with him? No, but I understand him. He went with the mentality of getting Kirk Cousins, getting someone to kind of play out that year, hoping they can get Kirk Cousins in the offseason. Trade for him or whatever, because he wanted to go and get someone he wanted and worked with before. Therefore, what did they not do? They did not scout Patrick Mahomes. Mistake number uno. I wish they would have. I really do. So they drafted Solomon Thomas. And I think I mentioned this earlier, but I think the Bears were drafting at 2. No, Niners were drafting 2, and the Bears were drafting 3. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Bears are idiots. They traded with us to move up to 2 because they wanted to take a quarterback, which was neither Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson. Head scratcher. And I think within that trade, one spot down, we were able to get the pickup, the ammunition for the following year to get Fred Warner, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, moving on. Second pick in the first round, the Niners came back into the first round, and we took Reuben Foster. Was Reuben Foster a bad pick? No. Did he plan out for the Niners? No. He was a head case. He had domestic violence or whatever it was, issues with his girlfriend, and he didn't work out. Nobody ever knows what he could have been because of his off-field issues. But was he a bad pick? In my opinion, no. He just didn't work out. But for argument's sake, bad pick. Then we drafted Akulo Witherspoon. His name is Aquilo Witherspoon, but I called him Akulo because he was Kulo trash. Akulo Witherspoon, not good. Then we draft in the third round C.J. Beathard. Then we draft the best running back in the world in Joe Williams, who not only was he the best running back, and I'm being sarcastic, he never even played on the roster. Trash. And I'm going to leave this player for last, even though I'm going to move ahead of him for a reason. Then we drafted Trent Taylor in the 5th round. Trash. I'm with you guys. Then we drafted DJ Jones. Not trash. In the 6th round. DJ Jones was one hell of a D tackle for us. He got paid, and he's still a starter for the Broncos. So whether he's with us or with the Broncos, he wasn't a bad pick. Good pick. Then we got Peter Atum, whatever his name is, the last name, Atelemhu, whatever. Trash. Adrian Colbert was okay. He was a safety, okay. But the one that I left, who did we get in the 5th round besides Trent Taylor? We got George freaking Kittle. We drafted George freaking Kittle, a first ballot Hall of Famer. if you ask me. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Fame inductee when it's all said and done. So out of the 2017 draft, we took George Kittle and DJ Jones. To me, it was a good draft. You mean like, wait a minute, but the rest of them suck balls. They did. They did. But we got a Hall of Fame tight end out of it. Now, what I would have wanted for us to get George Kittle, DJ Jones, and some other players as well as them, of course. But the fact that we got Kittle out of it, okay, maybe it wasn't a great draft, but it was a salvageable draft. Should I say it that way? It was salvaged because of Kittle and DJ Jones, but mostly Kittle. All right, moving on with 2018. I'm going a little faster. We drafted Mike McGlinchey, a good tackle. Moved on. He's a starting tackle for the Broncos. Then we got Dante Pettis, Tarvarius Moore, Contarius Streets, no bueno. DJ Reed, the Niners try to hide him, and the Seahawks swooped and got him. Masao Harris wasn't good. Julian Taylor, Richie James, but we got Fred Warner. Another first ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Another first ballot Hall of Famer, in my opinion, in Fred Warner. So in 2017 and 2018, we got two Hall of Famers. Those seasons, those draft picks were salvaged by them. Would it have been better if we would have got 2 or 3 different Hall of Famers out of that draft? Yes, of course. Nobody's arguing that. But to say that that was a bad draft when you got George Kittle in one and then you get Fred Warner in the other, how is that a bad draft? You got 2 Hall of Famers out of it. I don't see that being a bad draft. Could have been better? Of course. Was it really bad? No. In my opinion. Why wasn't it really bad? Because we got first ballot Hall of Famer linebacker and Fred Warner, first ballot Hall of Famer tight end, and George Kittle. How are those going to be bad drafts, in my opinion, when we got them? Now, moving on to 2019. Moving on to 2019, ladies and gentlemen. We draft Nicholas John Bosa. Then we draft Deebo Samuel in the second round. Jalen Hurd, Mitch Trubisky, Dre Greenlaw, Kaden Smith, Justin School, and Tim Harris. Nick Bosa, one hell of a defensive end for us. Deebo Samuel did a lot of great things for us. And Dre Greenlaw, a very good linebacker that a lot of us are happy that he's back on the Niners roster in 2026. Are we not? So how is 2019 a bad draft? In my opinion, it isn't. It always can be better, absolutely. But was it bad? No. Because of Bosa, Deebo Samuel, and Greenlaw. 2020. That was a weird year, right? That was a crazy year in 2020 with COVID, everything shutting down. I mean, it's just crazy. I can't believe it's been 6 years ago. My goodness, how time flies. It's been 6 years since that took place. Watching stadiums with no fans, I don't know about you, but that was crazy. That was bizarre. Watching a team play another team with no fans in the stadium. That was crazy. They had to use stereo fan noise. That's crazy. Anyway, I'm going to look at the comments after this. I promise. I will look at the comments and I will read them. 2020, we took Javon Kinlaw, a bad pick. Now, I understand why they did it. They had just traded DeForest Buckner to the Colts. They needed somebody to fill that position. And the best prospect at the time, based out of college, was Javon Kinlaw. I didn't like that pick. They traded with Tampa Bay, one spot, gave Tampa Bay the pick ahead. There was the Niners' original pick, who they took the tackle. Can't think of his name. Worf. Imagine having Worf at the right side and having Trent Williams on the left. Ooh-wee. We would have been set at tackles, baby. But they traded with Tampa. Tampa took Worf. I'm thinking I'm saying his name correctly. If I'm not, I apologize. And we went with Kinlaw, understanding why they took him, though. Even though I would have loved the tackle, I understand why they went with the D tackle, because we needed to replace DeForest. And I think the guy they wanted, I forgot what team he went to, but there was another D tackle they wanted who went like 2 or 3 picks before Javon Kinlaw, and the Niners had to take Javon Kinlaw. Now, next pick in the first round, we came back into the first round, traded with the Eagles, I believe, and we drafted Brandon Ayuk. Great pick. Great pick. Bad results today, obviously, but that does not erase Ayuk's craziness, and the shit that he's pulling today does not reflect that he was a good pick when he was drafted. He was a hell of a receiver. We all loved him. He got extended, his contract got extended. He got paid. Why? Because he was a good player. It's just something happened after he got paid and it all went for caca. Colton McKivitz in the 5th round. Was he a great pick? Is he a serviceable pick? Absolutely. Who has been holding the right tackle position for the last couple of years? Now, given he started rough. Colton McKivitz started rough. He was terrible, but he learned, and now is he like a top 10? No. Is he good enough? Yes. That's a good pick. Now. A couple years ago, maybe not. Charlie Warner, gone. Juwan Jennings, now gone with who's he with now? Minnesota. But he was very good for us. 3rd and Juwan. He would have been MVP if we would have beaten the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Imagine that. A 7th round receiver out of Tennessee would have been MVP in that game. Mind-blowing. So that, because of Brandon Ayuk, Colton McKivitz, and Juwan Jennings, that was a good draft. Then we have 2021, a year after the COVID. The Niners could have taken Mac Jones probably where they were at. They didn't have to trade for Mac Jones. And a lot of rumors we heard that Kyle wanted him and fought and advocated for him, and we never had to trade. But whether it was John Lynch or Jed York, whoever pounded for Trey Lance. And I understand why they did it. Again, I am not upset at the Niners for taking a chance on Trey Lance. I'm not. He did not work out for the Niners, obviously. He didn't have a lot of experience, but he had a lot of potential. His ceiling was high. His floor, not so much, but his ceiling was high. And the Niners drafted him, and they invested in 3 first rounds. And even though he did not work out, I do not, me personally, do not blame the Niners for trying to get their version of Josh Allen. At least they tried. I'd rather try and fail than not try at all. So for me, they went for it, and they failed. But at least they went for it. But it was still a bad pick. Then we took Aaron Banks, round 2. He's been good for us, but then he was priced out. The Niners, for some reason, unless you are the left tackle, Trent Williams, they don't value offensive linemen as much as a lot of you and myself would want them to. So he goes to Green Bay, I believe. Then we draft Trey Sermon. No bueno. Then we draft Emery Thomas. No bueno. Then we draft Denominator Lenore, the hyena. Good. Great? I don't know, but good. Talanoa Hufanga was a good safety. Not good enough for the Niners to pay for. He went on, and he's been doing good, I guess. I haven't really watched him. You tell me if he's been good with the Broncos or not. And then we got running back Elijah Mitchell. He had a lot of injuries, and we moved on from him. So the only player that we got out of that was really Lenore that is with the team. I think Hufanga is still a good pick, and Aaron Banks was a good pick. They're just no longer with the team. The only one is with us is the hyena. So that wasn't a great draft. 2022 draft. We draft Drake Jackson. Terrible. Now remember, we didn't have first round either. So we started with the second round at the 61 spot. He didn't work out. Davis Price, running back, did not work out either. Danny Gray, Spencer Burford, he's the reason why we lost in the Super Bowl, in my humble opinion, when he left Chris Jones wide open to hit Brock Purdy. How are you going to let the best freaking pass rusher on that team come at you, at your quarterback, untouched? Then we drafted Nick Sakal. He's still on the team, but he's just a practice squad guy. He's just been practiced, so he's Then we drafted Kalia Davis. He never worked out. He's gone. Then we drafted Tariq Castro Fields, which I liked at the time, corner. But I forgot why we lost him. We let him go. We tried to stash him in the practice squad, and he was I forgot how we lost him. But in the 7th round, who did we draft? Who was the savior of John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan? Who was it? Hold on real quick. Brock Glock Purdy. Brock Glock Purdy was the Niners pick in the 7th round, pick 2 62, Mr. Irrelevant, was taken in the 7th round. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know if you agree with me or not. That is fine. But if anything salvaged the 22 draft was Brock Purdy, for it being a complete failure. Now, drafting Brock Purdy, and if Khalil Davis would have worked out, if Spencer Burford would have worked out, if Drake Jackson would have been one hell of a pass rusher, all of that is understandable. It would have been a great draft. It wasn't. But was it a bad draft? No. Why? Because Brock Purdy came out of it. If you can be 100, if you can keep it 100 with yourself and be honest with yourself, everybody else sucked. But Brock Purdy came out of it. And is he a top 5 quarterback? Is he your Josh Allen? Is he Joe Burrow? Is he Lamar Jackson? Is he Patrick Mahomes? No. Brock Purdy can play football. He may not have all the tangibles, all the measurements of these quarterbacks, but can Brock Purdy play football? Yes, he can. Can he deliver the ball where it needs to go? Can he get the ball to an open receiver? Yes. Does he throw interceptions a little bit more than you like? Yes. But I love the fact that he throws an interception and he lets it go. He doesn't linger on it. He doesn't dwell on it. He doesn't focus on it. He lets it go, and he comes out the next series throwing the ball. He has short-term memory. We went to a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy, and he had us winning that Super Bowl. I watched that game the other day. Why? Because I like to torture myself. And there was 10 seconds left. Now, they probably would have kicked a field goal, and then we would have continued to play, and who knows what the results would have been. But with 10 seconds left, we gave up a touchdown uncontested. I don't know if you guys remember, but in overtime, now did Kyle make a mistake in the whole going first? Did he know the overtime rules? Who knows? But we were winning. We had a field goal. We were doing fine. 10 seconds left. And that defense gave an easy touchdown that you and I could have walked through. You and I could have walked through that end zone easily. How is that Brock Purdy's fault? How is that Kyle's fault? We could have been champions, but we weren't. Can Brock Purdy get us to another Super Bowl? Yes. Can he win us a Super Bowl? Yes, in my opinion. Now, a lot of people say, well, if he has the Avengers, Brock Purdy's good. He's good with the Avengers. But you take away Kittle, you take away you take away so-and-so, and he's not good. Who do you have last year? Who did Brock Purdy have last year? He definitely did not have the Avengers. And he was able to win games. He was able to take control. I love Brock Purdy. I'm never going to compare him to those other elite quarterbacks. Is Brock Purdy elite? Maybe, maybe not. Can Brock Purdy play football? Yes. Can Brock Purdy win you games? Yes. Can Brock Purdy get you to another Super Bowl? Yes. And that's all that matters to moi. Luis Moreno in the house. What's up, brothers? Huff is way better than what we have currently. And we drafted him. We just didn't keep him. Now, I like Mustafa. I really do. Jair Brown, I'm hoping that Raheem Morris can work with him. Raheem Morris is notorious for being a hell of a secondary coach. So I'm hoping that he can instill some progress in Jair Brown. But am I hopeful? But I do like Mustafa a lot. Welcome to the show, my friend. I'm going to read your comments. I just want to say hi to the people that just came in. My brother from another mother. Amen. Joe is in the house. Amen. Rich. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. This is my little brother. We're not blood. We don't have the same mom, but we have the same father. We don't have the same mom. Different moms, but same dad. His name is Jesus. Amen. Welcome to the show, my friend. All right, let me read some of these comments before I continue to go, because I don't want Kenny to beat me up. Kenny's too nice looking to come and beat this disabled person over here. By the way, we only took Brock because someone else took a crappy safety we wanted. It was just luck.
Booyah!
I hear you. And like I said, if you remember, he saved the career. Well, I don't want to say career, but he saved John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan's jobs. I really do. If they didn't get lucky with this kid, they probably would have been gone already. So take it as you wish. Some of you that want Kyle to be gone and John Lynch to be gone, then you probably hate Brock Purdy because he's the reason why they're still here. But if you like Kyle, like I do, if you like John Lynch, like I do, then we are blessed to have a man like Brock Purdy taken. Now, I don't believe in luck, Kenny. I believe in destination. And destiny, excuse me. I hope I believe in destination. Otherwise, I ain't going anywhere. I believe in destiny. I believe in God's plan. God has a purpose and a plan for all of our lives. Whether we know it, whether we believe it, He does. And I think it was God's plan for Brock Purdy to be drafted, if we want to call it luck, to the Niners. Who do we have here? We got May God Bless You. Ooh-wee. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, wow.
Hold on.
Oh, wow.
We got a man of God in the house. What's up, brother? I love that avatar. I love that avatar. Praise the name of Jesus. Amen. Welcome to the show, my friend. They need to go all in. Our core players are on our old. Now, on the offensive side, yes, we are old. On defense, we are the third youngest team. I don't know if you guys knew that. On offense, yes, we're old. On defense, we are the third youngest defense in the NFL. I don't know if you knew that, but that is true. Beto, we were the only team that got older after the draft. True. Older. But you know what? What comes with age, Kenny? Me and you, we're up there, right? We're up there in age. I'm way up there more than you are. I'll keep it 100. But what comes with age? No disrespect to nobody young. No disrespect to the young people watching me now or watching this video on replay. But what comes with age? Wisdom. maturity, responsibility, right? So these guys have a lot of wisdom. That's right. These players have a lot of experience playing 5 to 6 years in college. Yes, they're older, but if they hit, listen, Ricky Watters. How many of you remember Ricky Watters, a running back the Niners drafted, who went to Philly, then Seattle, and then he retired? Great running back. He wasn't, I think he was, I forgot how old he was when we drafted him, but he only lasted 3 years with us. Then he decided to leave and play for Philadelphia. My point is this. He was young running back, but he still left in 3 years. My point with this, if Black, coming in at 25, I believe, or 24, if he plays up to, what is the age of running backs? 30, 31, 32 maybe? Let's say he's 25 now and he retires at 32. That's still 7 years. 7 years of football. What do we get out from Black in those 7 years? Yes, they're older, but can they play football? Are they good enough to be on the team quick? Now, if it takes Black 3 to 4 years to get familiar with the system and starts, then we're in trouble. Then he's starting behind the 8 ball. But if he comes in 2026, learns this offense and takes off running, no pun intended, he's a running back, then do we care how old he is? As long as he's running and getting the first downs and touchdowns, as long as he's getting those, right? Who cares? But they are older. Brock had CMC as a slot receiver in injured JJ. Brock will be an elite quarterback. People only see physical gifts. Come on, Eddie. Come on, somebody. Preach it, my brother. Preach it. See the physical gifts. Brady lacked physical gifts too. Come on, bro. Correcto mundo, my friend.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
I 100% agree with you, Eddie. And look how Tom Brady turned out. Same thing with Brock. I personally think he's elite. I don't say it much because I don't want to get people all crazy in their feelings. Oh, you don't know what an elite quarterback is, blah, blah, blah. Okay, if you say so. Oh, William Floyd. Come on, brother. Big 40. William Floyd. A lot of you won't get that reference, but if those that love William Floyd, remember this, right? That guy was a beast. Ricky and Floyd went up the hill. No, just kidding. Just kidding. All right. Keon Black is a recast day one, but he will probably never play. What?
Stupid.
Now, you're not stupid, Kenny. The comment is, all due respect, my brother. What do you mean he'll never play? Now, people say, what's the point of drafting a running back when Kyle never plays nobody? He's always putting Christian McCaffrey 95% of the time. That's because nobody can step up. Kyle has a certain play calls when Christian McCaffrey is in the lineup. When Christian McCaffrey is in the lineup, Kyle can do certain plays that he cannot successfully do without Christian McCaffrey because of his ability to run and catch the ball. And Christian McCaffrey can block and keep your quarterback from getting killed. One of the big things of Guerendo was he couldn't block. Keon Black can block very well. He can catch well too. Was he asked to catch a lot in Indiana? No. Mendoza had receivers for the yin yang over there. They didn't need him. But the kid can catch. I really expect our three. Give me a second, real quick. Our three running backs, in my opinion, is Christian McCaffrey, Jordan James, and Kalen Black. Who takes the backup role to McCaffrey? That's going to be a challenge. To me, that's Jordan James' job to lose. If Kalen Black is running back number 2, then I don't think Jordan James is going to be good at all. What I saw in Jordan James last year in the playoffs, I liked. To me, the backup role to Christian McCaffrey is Jordan James' spot to lose. Competition always brings the best out of everybody. You can't get mad at competition. Yes and no. Jordan James is much faster, way faster than Black running the ball. But I think Black is a little bit more, he's more of a power runner than James. So do they have similarities? Yes. Are they similar? I don't think so. But that's just me. He played in the playoffs last year. Playoffs? Don't talk to me about no playoffs. Playoffs? To the late, great Jim Mora. Soundbite. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, you are too young. Playoffs? Don't talk to me about no playoffs. Isaac fumbled 3 times. That didn't help in practice. And he probably will never play for us again. Correctamundo. Yeah, he is definitely outside looking in. He's definitely outside looking in. Like I said, the 3 running backs I think the Niners will go with is Christian McCaffrey, Jordan James, and Kalen Black. And of course, they're going to go with 4. The 4th one is going to be Kyle Juice check. And I think Guerendo will be playing for another team going forward. If he earns a spot on the roster, Guerendo, then I'm going to look forward to seeing this kid play because he is way, way down the depth chart. But you got to remember, too, is how you are used in your particular system that you're in college. College is completely different from the NFL. There's so many players. I mean, how many players have the same number in college? Because there's so many of them. They're just used, and like Black was used a lot as a 1-2 punch. The other kid, the reason why he got, and I can't think of his name in Indiana, the reason why he got the start over Black, in my humble opinion, is because he was a transfer player who got a lot of money to come to Indiana. And because of that transfer and the money, he was the starting running back in Indiana. But if you ask me, who helped the team get to the playoffs? It was one Kalen Black. The other kid, I believe he went to Arizona as an undrafted free agent, if I'm not mistaken. How you play in college is completely different than how you play in professional football. Who was the last who touched the ball? Yeah, Jordan James. That's an easy answer. So, let's go back to year 2023. We draft Jair Brown, Jake Moody, Cameron Latu, Daryl Luter, I don't know. He might not even make the team this year. Robert Beal, D. Winters, he was traded to the Cowboys. Brandon Willis, he's nothing but a practice squad body. Ronnie Bell, gone. Jalen Graham is still on the team, but he was cut. If you remember, he was cut. He went to the Commanders, then the Commanders cut him, and then we signed him again. So to me, 2023 was trash all the way around. That is a bad draft. In 2024, we draft Ricky Purcell. Great pick. I like this kid. I'm going to be on record in saying this. Save the receipts, ladies and gentlemen. Save the receipts here tonight. Save the receipts because Ricky Purcell is not only is he not going to get hurt at all in 2026, but he's going to have a breakout year. Breakout year. That is my humble prediction. He will have a breakout year, and we're going to have fun watching Ricky do his thing. Ronaldo Green. Is he great? Is he good enough? Yes. Dominic Pooney. Is he great? I think he will be. I think he was hurt a lot last year. Played to a lot of pain. I think this year will be a better year. I like him. Malik Mustafa, another player that I like. Now that we have Raheem Morris as our D coordinator and he specializes in the secondary, I think that's going to be very, very beneficial to the young Malik Mustafa. I see big things coming out of him. Jacob Cowing. I mean, I don't know what we have in him, but he's always hurt. Jarrett Kingston. I like that offensive guard pick, but he got snatched away from us as well. And then Tatum Bethune. He's okay, but would I lose any sleep if we lost him? No. So Ricky, Ronaldo, Dominic, and Mustafa. 4 out of all the players are good picks. So I am good with 2024. 2025, Mikael Williams, Alfred Collins, Nick Martin, Upton Stout. Upton Stout is starting to look like this kid is going to be a great pick for the San Francisco 49ers. We got Jordan James. We got Jordan Watkins. Now, Jordan Watkins was hurt. I don't know what we have in this kid. He can be a great pick or not such a good pick. Marquise Siegel, I like. I love me some Marquise Siegel. Did he struggle last year? Yes. Was he a rookie? Yes. Was he learning Robert Saleh's defense? Yes. But he's shown, at least for me, that this kid can be a good safety in the NFL. Is he going to be a Hall of Famer? He's not a Ronnie Lott, but I think he'll be a very good, solid safety. Then we drafted Curtis Rorick. I like Curtis Rorick, Indiana quarterback that we took. We redshirted him in 2025 because of his injury. I'm excited. I don't know about you guys. I am truly excited to see this kid in preseason. I'm excited to see him in OTAs. I'm excited to see him in minicamp. I'm excited to see him play in preseason. I want to see what this kid has. If he plays the way he's going to play, the way I think he will play, once Mac Jones goes next year, because he will be gone, I think we got our backup in Curtis Rourke. I hope and pray that I'm right. And then we got Connor Colby, the guard or lineman out of Iowa. I think this kid is going to be a great player, depth in the offensive line. I think he showed a lot of progress last year. He still showed he needs to improve in a lot of areas, but I love his ceiling, and we'll see what he turns out to be. And then we got Junior Bergen. People asked about him in the beginning of this podcast. He's going to, special teams is where he's at right now. Does he make the team with the addition of the receivers that we have now? It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for him to make the team. Maybe then he makes the practice squad. To me, if Bergensen makes the practice squad, that's a win-win for him. But I don't know too much about him. Kenny says cheeseburger. He's a cheeseburger. So 2025 is still out. And 2026, we haven't even seen them hit the floor yet. Bodies hit the floor. Bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Now, 2026, I think this dribbling is going to be good. Height's going to be good. Black. Holton, I look forward to seeing Grayson Holton. I think Carver Willis is going to be a good guard going forward for the Niners. Maybe I'm hoping. And the kid that I really, really like is Ephesians Praysock. Ephesians Praysock, a lengthy corner. I think he'll be special teams for the first year. They'll develop. He's a developmental project. And I like Jaden Duggar. I think he's going to play linebacker, but he's also going to pass rush. He's going to go after the quarterback. And Enrique Cruz Jr. Enrique Cruz Jr. is my ace. That is my ace. I think this kid is going to be special in the NFL, whether it's with us or on another team. I hope it's with us, but I think he's going to be special. So I went through all the draft picks from 17 to 2026. Have we had some misses? Yes. Absolutely. But did we get great players like Kittle, Fred Warner, Nicholas John Bosa? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Do I wish they would have got them plus more players? Of course. Imagine in a world that we took George Kittle and Patrick Mahomes. Mind-blowing. Taking Patrick Mahomes and George Kittle, and those two guys would have been playing together from year one. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's been about an hour and 45 minutes. I told myself I wanted to be on here for about 45 minutes, and I went over an hour. No mames, Beto. No mames. So, you guys been amazing. You guys are awesome. Who's awesome? You guys are awesome. Make sure to wipe your feet before you leave. It says before entering. But if you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button. And I'm going to play, I don't know, for those that came in late, for those that are still watching and came in late, I created my own intro. I don't know if you guys seen it. No, listen, guys. No AI. Okay? To me, if you use AI to do your thing, hey, more power to you. Use it. I take too much pride in what I know how to do. I don't use AI. I build my own. I'm an Apple guy, so I used Apple Motion 6, for those that don't know, and Pixelmator Pro for my softwares, and I create my own stuff. So I'm going to leave you guys with my intro, and then I'm going to call it a night. So let me know in the thoughts, in the comments, what you think about my intro. Here it goes.
Welcome to Let's Talk Niners podcast, hosted by Niner Sickness. Don't forget to subscribe.
They don't hand it to you. You have to dig for it.
It's on my right! That's ain't right! It's on my right now!
Those before us knew their pursuit had to be relentless. Belief was met with gold, or fell apart into dust. We've been sifting through the chaos, through the dirt, through the noise, through the West. When the chaos closes in, the moment opens up. Every challenge faced, a new opportunity presented. And when your number's called, you answer. Not with words, with force. One play changes the field. One moment flips the night. Our work isn't finished. It's time to strike.
Inside the 20, the 10, he's gone! It's over! And the Niners have won!
Welcome to the Ultimate Red and Gold Show. We are breaking down everything faithful. Get ready for some pure Niner sickness.
And that is my new intro. That is my new intro for for 2026, guys. I am out of here. Good night. God bless. Remember, Jesus loves each and every one of you. If you need prayer for anything, let me know in the comments, and I will lift you guys in prayer. God loves you. I love you guys. Thank you for supporting my channel. Have a wonderful night. God bless. And until the next time, thank you for watching Let's Talk Niners with your host, your humble host, Niner Sickness. Peace and God bless.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.